Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another weekly setup. So I'm going to be breaking down over 20 pairs using fxalexg Set and Forget strategy, and these are the best pairs we are going to be trading for next week. So coming over to my screen right now, you can see that the very first pair. Let's start breaking down all these pairs, right? So this is the daily time frame. I was going to take a trade, right here on GPP card. It was a counter trend trade setup that I dropped on the Telegram. But I broke even this trade and it came back and took me a break even. But right now it's in profits of like 1:1 or something. Technically not really the strategy. Let's start breaking down the markets. GPP card, let's see what we have. Now technically we are still waiting for that retracement on GPP card to area of interest for us to look for buys on the daily time frame. Daily time frame is clearly bullish, as you can clearly see. We are creating higher highs and higher lows, right? So we are still waiting for that retracement back into area of interest to buy. We haven't gotten that yet, so we'll continue to wait. Euro USD, the next pair. I'm still paying attention to Euro USD. I'm expecting markets to sell, right? I'm expecting market to sell. So let me show you exactly what we are looking for. Daily time frame, we have a very strong area of interest, right? Last week, I've been waiting for market to sell, but it's pretty much still consolidating around area of interest and it's still rejecting area of interest. For now, I'll continue to wait until I see the um price action I'm looking for, right? Weekly time frame is also bearish, and the 4-hour time frame as well. Now the 4-hour time frame technically is still, you can call it bullish or bearish depending on if you are calling this the high or not, but I'm going to be waiting for this break, retest and engulfing under this level, right? Simply because price have rejected that level multiple times. So I'll be waiting for a clean break and retest under this level to be looking for sales on Euro USD. So again, coming over to this week, that's exactly what I'll be looking for. So that'll be my first pair for this week. Should we look at gold? Let's look at gold and see what we have on gold. So as for gold, in fact, let's delete what we have here. As for gold, this is what my game plan is on gold. So let's start with the daily. Now daily time frame is actually has broken this high, right? Has a retracement and it has have an engulfing candle. The overall structure actually is still bearish, right? Now coming over to 4-hour, let's see what is there. 4-hour structure is also bullish. It's a very tight one, but it's also bullish. So we also have like a minor high, right? That price has respected multiple times right here. So price is currently approaching that high, as you can see. It's the same high, or let's just call it not high, let's call it resistance level, right? Resistance level. So price rejected it from here. Even going over to the left, you can see rejected here, as rejected here, rejected here, rejected 2 times here, 3 times, 4 times here. So that high is very respected by price. So what I think will happen is for us to continue with bullish momentum, right? So I expect that we'll continue with the bullish momentum, but we need that high to get broken first, break above all these highs, as you can see, all these current highs, then have a retracement of that high like this, continue buying. That's what I expect to happen. If not, then I will be expecting price to now shift new structure. So if you are looking for sales, I will not be expecting price to actually shift this structure. Let me show you. Shift, reject from this level, right? Come into this level, reject from this level, then break this low, right? Have a retracement of that low. EMA should be turning bearish at that time, and then we'll look for engulfings to sell. So those are the two game plans that we might have on gold. So I'll also be adding gold for this week. I would like to see what really happens. If you are taking the buys, I think I'll be interested in that buys, right? So that's pretty much it for gold. Let's see GBPNZD. GPNZD. I think I'm still waiting for this pair. We're waiting for a break, right? So again, I told you guys that this line, I don't expect price to get to that line, and this line too, I don't expect price to get to that line. So it's very easy what price has done right now. Price has clearly shown strong rejection from that area, from what daily area of interest. I explained this thing last week, right? This area of interest, there's pretty much no price action above all this line, right? This area of interest is the only area of interest and is the highest area of interest. So we cannot even get any area of interest that is closer to price right now, right? On except this area of interest. So because that is the only area of interest, I expect that this area of interest should hold, right? So because of that, now let me show you guys what my new game plan is. Let's delete this. So as you can clearly see now, price was bullish coming into area of interest. Clearly, what are you seeing now? Price has shifted bearish. Why? Because this is the higher high, this was the higher low. Price has now broken under that low. So what makes more sense is a retracement. At least we need a discount to start selling, right? Now that is the daily time frame. Daily time frame is currently bearish. Weekly time frame, as you can clearly see, I explained this thing last week, right? We are having a doji, right? We had a doji last week, last upper week, which is when I was calling it, and then this week we have an engulfing, right? So it makes sense that during the course of this week we'll have a week, right, to somewhere around here to continue selling. That will be the retracement on the daily time frame, and then we'll go to other time frames to look for what we have, right? So let's go to the other time frame. Let's go to the 4 hour. So 4 hour time frame, simply it makes sense, is the same exact game plan. A retracement back into this level to continue selling, right? And then 1 hour time frame, same thing. Now, but for the 1 hour time frame, once we have that retracement, we'll no longer be bearish. So we'll still wait for the 1 hour time frame to actually shift bearish again for us to be looking for sales. Now, technically speaking, this is where the take profit target should be. This orange line, this first one, is supposed to be here, but I'm looking for a very solid place where I believe that if price gets to that level, we should exit before price start reversing, because price could actually start reversing from this support level, right? So this is the first take profit target. Hopefully we need a candle that actually breaks that level. If we break that level and candlestick and the daily candlestick closes under this line right here and under this line, then we'll continue holding on to this level. So I really hope that happens so that we'll have a very big trade, basically, right? So I'll still be monitoring GPPNZD for this week, so I'll be adding it for this week. Euro GBP, let's see what we have. As for Euro GBP, we will no longer be paying attention to this market because simply we're expecting a retracement back into this area to sell, but price continues selling without us. So we can't really be expecting the retracement to start happening here. There's a lot more price action that will be happening before we actually even enter the market. So I don't think I'll be interested in this market. Let's look at the weekly. You see, we still need at least 2 weeks of price action to really have the retracement, another maybe 1 or 2 weeks, for the rejection and the doji before the actual movement of the market. So I think this trade is already gone, basically. I feel like we should have entered here if we had the opportunity, but we never got the opportunity. So that's pretty much it for Euro GBP. Next pair, CAD JPY. As for CAD JPY, weekly time frame is currently bearish. Daily time frame. So daily time frame actually right now is currently bullish, right? So I was actually waiting for a break and retest under this level to sell, but at the retracement, price never gave us an engulfing, so we now shifted structural bullish. So right now, we don't have any clear bias on if we are going to be buying or going to be selling, because weekly is bearish, but daily is actually bullish, right? Now going over to the 4 hour, I expect 4 hours to still be bullish. As you can tell, 4 hour structure is still bullish, but it's very indecisive because right now we could actually shift structure bullish or bearish again. You see, now how do I know this? Well, because of the market structure. But if you don't understand that, just look at the EMA. You can clearly see that EMA shifted bullish here, shifted bearish here, shifted bullish here, and price is currently at the EMA again. You can still shift bearish or continue bullish. It just depends, right? So depending on what market does, I will know if I'm going to be buying or going to be selling. So if I'm going to be buying, then I will be needing the daily to be bullish, just like it is already, right? Have a rejection, so I'll need like a doji next, right? So that will be a Monday. Then we need an engulfing, that will be Tuesday. So Wednesday we should be paying attention to this market. The 4 hour time frame, I need it to be bullish. I need it to be having a bullish market. So we need highs to be broken. We need highs to be broken. So basically, I need like something like this. I need new highs to be created for me to be interested, right? Then if that happens, I will not be paying attention to the 1 hour for entries. But if we are looking for sales, well, I don't think we should even be looking for sales, right? Because daily is already bearish. Daily is already bullish, right? So we kind of need daily to be bearish and forward to be bearish to be interested. So I'll be more interested in looking for buys and sells. Next pair is AUD USD. AUD USD, let us see what we have. Now, weekly time frame is at some form of a support level, right? But is the market bullish? Yes, we'll call it bullish. Now, let's go over to the daily time frame. Now, daily time frame is a bearish market. We are rejecting from that support level and we are still looking like we're creating highs. So, but I'm not really interested. The simple reason is because we don't have two time frame in sync, right? That is the only reason I'm not interested. So next pair, USD card. Ooh, USD card. You know, one thing about this USD card is that this is a very familiar trade. I think we took this kind of trade during the 100 to the mil series when Allergy was doing it, right? There was a very strong buy momentum, right? I think it was even the very first trade. I think it was the very first trade that we took. It was very similar to something like this. So he had a very strong buying momentum and he started stalling at the top. There was an area of interest below, just like this, right? And then we had a break and retest on that level to sell. That trade actually went for like a lot of risk reward ratio. I don't know. I think he caught 1:4 at that time. Also, we caught 1:3, or I caught 1:3 because I actually traded the very first trade on the 100 to the mil series. Anyway, let's see what we have. So right now, the market structure is still bullish on the daily time frame. Same thing with the weekly, I expect. But on the weekly, you can clearly see that we are having a doji and an engulfing at the top. That simply signifies a reversal. It's just simply something like this, very similar to something like this. Now going over to the 4 hour time frame. Okay. So very, very similar to that 100 to the mil series, the very first trade. I want you guys go and check it, by the way. If you have the time, go and check it. So we had a break and retest under this level of support and resistance, right? So simply what we are going to be looking for is any form of rejection we can get around here and an engulfing. If we can get that on the 4 hour time frame, I'll be very interested in selling this market next week. So yes, I'll be adding USD card for this week. Very, very clean setup. So as for USD card, it simply looks like I'm just looking for an engulfing to enter this market, right? But I need 4 hour to, slow down. So I don't know. So the very first 4 hours should be a slowdown, which means if market opens, we have to wait till London session. I think that will be more than 4 hours. We have to wait till London session. Then when London session kicks in, we'll start looking for the entries on the 1 hour time frame, right? Instead of entering immediately market opens, right? So that makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense. So USD card I'm adding in for this week for sales. Let me draw the direction for sales. USD card. Next pair we have EURUSD. Let's see. Daily time frame. Alright, EURUSD. We are looking for buys at this level. Price was having the retracement and started slowing down here. At this point, it started breaking structure to the downside. So, but with the momentum coming back into area of interest, again, I told you guys, you don't just buy, as soon as price get into area of interest. We need price to get to area of interest, have a slowdown, start having any form of bullish momentum, right, before we actually start jumping into the market. So, because we never got any of that, we never took this trade, right? We never took the trade. So, right now, the market, I don't even like it, by the way. Let's see the weekly. Okay, weekly. Not so clean. 4 hour time frame. I'm not going to be forcing any market. So next pair, Euro AUD. All right, I think Euro AUD is way more cleaner. So let's go over to the daily, or let's start with the weekly to see what we have there first. All right, so this time frame is what, bearish, right? So weekly time frame is bearish. Okay, now 4 hour time, daily time frame is let's see, daily time frame is bullish. Should we call it bullish? Should we count this as a structure point? But I like the fact that we are creating highs. As you can clearly see, we are creating higher highs. As you can see, this high is higher than this one is higher than this one, and higher lows. This low is higher than this low is higher than this one, and so on, right? um I'm deciding, are we going to be buying this market? Let's see the 4 hour time frame. Okay, 4 hour time frame is actually showing bearish signs. I don't think I'll be interested in this market because I don't know which direction to actually even um take this trade from. The 4 hour time frame is telling me this, right? The 4 hour time frame is telling me we'll have a retracement. As you can clearly see, this is like a left head, right shoulder, right here. It feels like it's the left head, right shoulder. It just makes sense that we should have a retracement right here to sell. But the daily time frame is telling me that this level right here, daily time frame is telling me this level right here we could end up buying, right? Because we are creating higher highs. So it really just depends. I don't know. Should I just keep it close? I want to see what happens. Right. I believe that the sale will happen. In fact, that's what I actually believe. I believe that the sale will happen. If you're asking me for a direction, I believe is the sale that will happen, because with the set and forget strategy, I don't know, shorts just works better than longs. So that is that for Euro AUD. I'm not adding it for this week. I just brought it close to see how it's going to play out. GPBUSD. Let's start with the weekly. As for GPBUSD, I do believe that the market should continue selling, but right now is buying weekly. It has been buying for the past 2 weeks. Right now, GPBUSD, right? So I think it's pretty much overbought, but the market structure is still bullish. So, but we're having rejections from. Let me just show you guys. The area of interest is this one now, right? So if I expand it to just show you guys, you can see that we have multiple rejection from that area. So let me show you guys. So you can see one rejection, as you can see, two, three rejection, valid area already, 4, 5, 6 rejection, 7 rejection from this area. So we are currently at the area of interest. So I do believe that this market should be selling, but because of this lower low and lower high, and we are currently above, the market might still end up. The market structure is actually bullish. So I don't know. Let's go over to the 4 hour to make any solid decision on this market. So as for the 4 hour time frame, you can clearly see that the 4 hour is still bullish right now. What makes sense for this market is if we can start shifting structure bearish, right? And I actually would like if this market structure, if you are getting entries, you should be getting these entries right here, which will be on Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday, right? So that we'll have extra confluence from the EME. We need EME to actually shift bearish, just like this. So that will be on Thursday or Wednesday. So it really just depends. I'll also bring this one close to see what happens, right? But I'm having a bearish directional bias for this market. So this is where I want to be interested in this market, which is on Thursday. So let's see. Let me just look at the weekly again to confirm what I'm saying. So weekly, I think we need a rejection from that area. Daily time frame is already having the rejection, as you can clearly see. That is a rejection candlestick from area of interest. But EME is above. I mean, the EME is holding price as support at this point. At the time I'll be interested in this market, the EME should be holding price as resistance so that we can target these lows, right? So that will be our final take profit target if you are looking for sales, right? So if we can get this entry, I think I'll be interested in this market. It's a little bit of a risky trade simply because the daily is also bullish, but I'll be interested in this market if we can get the opportunity. Okay, so let's go over to the next pair. Okay, the next pair is NZUSD. Let's see. Okay, very solid area of interest, but price has not shifted structure yet. So I think I'll just prefer GPBUSD compared to NZUSD. They are both USD pairs, but GPBUSD looks way more cleaner for me, right? I don't like when price is actually breaking highs and still, like, if I'm expecting a shift of structure, it should be slowing down, not gaining momentum. Do you understand what I mean? So simply, I'll just be paying attention to GBP instead of NZUSD. NZD card next pair. Let's see. Weekly time frame. Okay, first of all, the market structure is dog shit, right? But if you are looking at this market structure, it means that weekly time frame is actually bullish. Daily time frame is bearish or very tight, but it might be bearish. Mm. Also, I don't like a consolidation market. Like, look from the EMA, it's not really trending to one direction. It's not trending strongly to the upside or trending strongly to the downside. Simply because of this, I might not really be interested in this market. I think we have better pairs to pay attention to than to try to force this market. But let's look for a direction. I would like to just have a direction on where I think this market will go. So this is the daily time frame. We have a resistance level right here, right? Which we have rejected from, by the way, right? So I mean, daily is also bearish. Let's see the 4 hour. 4 hour is bullish. Now this trade, I'll not be interested in that trade. NZDJPY. Let's start with the daily. Okay, is at a high, by the way. That same high that we came from that other time. So we are reacting from this high. Price is almost at that level, by the way, but I'm not paying attention to this market. I don't like it. GPPAUD. Okay, we are currently at the high point, but that's not an area of interest. Okay, let's see. GPPAUD daily time frame is what? Bullish, but we are having a reversal candlestick pattern from this level. Okay, now weekly time frame also bullish. I'm not interested in this market. It's confusing. Next pair, Euro AU, Euro JPY. Euro JPY. Weekly time frame is very tight, but it's still bullish. Daily time frame is pretty much consolidating, right? And if you know me, I don't like consolidating markets. 4 hour time frame. Okay, the market is just not having a clear direction. It's trending to the upside and also trending to the downside at the same time. So I'll not be interested in this market. GPP Let's check the daily time frame. As for GPP I simply believe that this market will continue bullish, right? If you can have rejection, that is, if you can have rejection from this level, it will continue bullish because that's pretty much been bullish, right? If you look at this market structure, you can see that it has pretty much been bullish. So I just simply expect it to continue bullish. Let's see what the 4 hour is saying. Again, if you can get that rejection from around this level, I believe that if you have a clean break and it is above here, you should continue buying. But I don't have any solid area of interest to enter from. So that is the only reason I'm not adding this pair for this week. GBP Let's start with the weekly first. GBP weekly time frame is already gaining momentum to the upside, as you can clearly see. And the market structure is bullish. Okay, the market structure is bullish. Can we get an area of interest? Let's draw this one right here. Okay, so we'll use this as our area of interest. It's a weekly area of interest, by the way. Let's check the daily to see if it's going to match. Yes, it's a solid daily area of interest as well. So weekly and daily area of interest is a very solid area of interest. So technically, what we are looking for is a retracement back into this level to buy, to look for buys, right? 4 hour time frame, same thing, retracement back into this level to look for buys. I think this is way more cleaner. But on the other hand, price could actually continue just buying. Is another thing, right? So next pair USD JPY, not adding it for this week. USD JPY. Let's see daily time frame. By the way, I don't think we are going to get an area of interest, so there will be no need to even analyze our market. Card AUD card. AUD card is still in this consolidation. It rejected from that area again. Like I told you guys, the last time we actually bought from somewhere around here. Now it rejected that area again and it's still going to the upside. So as long as price is still in this consolidation, we will continue buying from here and we'll continue selling from here. Right? 4 hour time frame, let's see if there's any way we can enter this trade. Price is still at the middle, right? You should be buying from here if you are buying, or we should be selling from here if you are selling. So right now price is currently at the middle. I will not be interested. AUD JPY. AUD JPY. My directional bias for this market is that we should continue selling. I don't even know. Like JPY pairs, some are telling me sell, some are telling me buys. Right? But we have a reason to be selling if you're selling. This is the daily area of interest, right? So we have strong rejection here, 1, 2, 3 rejection, and price is currently having this reversal candlestick pattern on the daily time frame. Right? Weekly time frame, let's see, is market bearish? Yes, market is bearish and is currently reacting from the previous structure point on the weekly time frame. Now let's go to the 4 hour and see. 4 hour time frame is actually bullish, right? Because this is clearly the higher high and this is the higher low. So do we have? I think we have two time frames in sync, which is the weekly bearish and the daily. The daily bearish is a very tight one, but I think the daily is actually bearish. So we do have two time frame in sync. I'll still be considering this trade like a risky trade somehow, because I do like when the daily, the 4 hour and the 1 hour is in the same direction. But in this case, 4 hour is not in the same direction because it's actually bullish. But this is what makes sense the most. If we can have a clean break and retest under this level, we should be looking for sales, right? Technically, this is exactly what I'm looking for here. Same thing with the 1 hour time frame. Let me see. Same thing with the 1 hour time frame. We can have a clean break and retest on this level. We should be looking for sales. I think I should bring this pair very close to see. Let's bring it close so that we'll monitor and see how it goes. Now, the last pair is USD CHF. USD CHF daily time frame. I don't even like the market. Alright, so that is that for Forex pairs. Now, let us look at indices. As for indices, we have not started trading indices yet. I just told you guys that I'll be paying attention to this market to see how they play out, right? Because we are looking for momentum in this market. So, this is what WTI. That is oil, right? That's oil. So what? I don't know. I can't see anything here. Daily time frame, 4 hour time frame is bullish, right? This is what I mean. I need strong trending market. I don't even know what to say about this, but I do believe you can start trending to the upside, then we should look for somewhere around here to be buying. I think that will make more sense. US 30, that is what? Dow Jones. Right? Dow Jones, I think that's US 30. Damn. Indices is very confusing, right? This market structure is bearish. This market structure is bullish. I don't know. NAS 100, let's see. Bro, indices. Consolidating. Not interested. S&P 500. Should be buying. Should continue buying. Right? If you can have a clean break and retest, should continue buying. And this last one is US oil. I think it's the same thing with this one. US oil. Anyway, I'll try to see how to analyze indices in a better way to see if the set and forget strategy actually works on indices, and that will be pretty much it. I think I'll make a shorter version of this video to break down the pairs I just finished calling. I think finally we are going to be having good trades next week, right? For the past, give it 3 weeks, I haven't gotten any solid trade, right? I think, but this next week we have about probably 6-7 trades to pay attention to. I think 1 or 2 should be able to give us the opportunity we are looking for. So that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys on the shorter version of this weekly setups.